We worry about hearts a lot, but a body part that doesn't get anything like the attention it deserves are your eyes. Specifically, the part of your eye that actually sees. The number of people who lose their eyesight is staggering. Granted, it doesn't kill you, but it makes living a whole lot less fun. So maybe it's time to start thinking not just about a heart healthy diet, but an eye healthy diet too. Now, on the surface, one would expect them to be the same thing. Well, maybe not. If you're paying attention to the generally accepted health guidelines, then you're watching your saturated fat intake. Translated, this means avoiding meat and eggs. Now, to be fair, eggs are currently in, sort of, but they've been out for a very long time, and the official message that they're currently in has not been widely dissipated, and there are quite a few dissenting voices, making the whole thing terribly confusing for the average Joe or Jane. And the confusion may be putting millions of eyes at risk. Join us for this episode of Better Body Chemistry TV as we explore the egg-eye connection. Better Body Chemistry TV is brought to you by Dr. Sandy, a scientist turned gremlin buster, helping you battle sugar gremlins, heifer lumps, and other health horribles through better body chemistry. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health. Now, the eye is a sophisticated piece of equipment. There's a big screen, which is composed of photoreceptors. There are different kinds, designated as rods or cones. They're sensitive to different types of light. The details are not important. The point is, when a light wave arrives at the screen, it causes the photoreceptors to zing. The zing does a whole bunch of chemistry, and this information then travels along nerves into the brain where it becomes an image. Now, the light that is coming in is concentrated energy, enough to break chemical bonds and cause contortions. Actually, who were kidding? It's enough to create mini implosions. If this energy is not contained, the mini implosions can end up being dramatic explosions, and blown out photoreceptors cause vision problems and can ultimately lead to blindness. Now, to stop this from happening, the retina is coated with a screen protector. Everyone's screen protector is not exactly the same. Some screen protectors seem to be much broader than others, and the thickness of that screen protector varies. But the screen protector is always in the center of the screen. The screen protector is referred to as the macula, and its thickness is measured by the macular pigment optical density, or MPOD for short. As a rule, the thicker it is, the more protected the screen is. Now, it's formed by the retinal pigment epithelial cells. These are a single layer of rather odd-shaped cells found in front of the photoreceptors. These cells make special pigments and apply them to the screen. Now, the pigments they use come from your diet. Well, two of them do, zeaxanthin and lutein. The third one, mesoxanthin, is whipped up by the retinal pigment epithelial cells using the enzyme called retinoid isomer hydrolase. It's a pretty special reaction. It turns out that this enzyme is only found in the eyes of primates. Yep, mice and rats don't have it in their eyes, making them poor models for human disease. Okay. The enzyme is also found in fish skin, but that's not really helpful for eye research either. The lutein and xanthine pigments are delivered to the retinal pigment epithelial cells by lipoproteins, particularly the HDL particles. And when you're insulin resistant, these can be on the low side. Aish. The screen protector is liberally applied when supplies are adequate. But if they're not, the protection can be patchy, making the screen more vulnerable to damage. So you need to be eating adequate amounts of lutein and zeaxanthin. So where do you get these xanthophylls and how much do you need? Well, let's start with the recommended dietary intake. Actually, there isn't one. The xanthophylls have never made it into the dietary reference intake guidelines. What is known is that most people don't get terribly much. The average American gets 1.7 milligrams per day, and the average European gets a little more at 2.3 milligrams. Is it enough? Well, we don't know. What we do know is retinal diseases is another epidemic running parallel with obesity, allergies, and Alzheimer's, and low macular density makes you more vulnerable. Now, the best source of these xanthophylls is green leafy vegetables. Think spinach. If thinking spinach causes a gag response, well, then you could think a rather pricey lutein supplement. But the truth of the matter is neither of these are the best source of lutein because the lutein inside of them is not very accessible. Actually, the best source of lutein is eggs. Now, on paper, the actual concentration in an egg yolk is pretty tiny. It clocks in at 200 micrograms. But thanks to the packaging, the lutein that is actually delivered is 2 to 300% more bioavailable. And epidemiological studies suggest it does make a difference. The Blue Mountains Eye Study, which tracked the health of 3,654 sets of eyes for 15 years, found people who ate less than one egg a week, that would be our heart healthy folks, had a much higher chance of a cracked screen. Translating this into English, basically the people who ate 2 to 4 eggs a week were 62% less likely to develop macular degeneration versus those who ate less than one egg a week. The study found that the more eggs people ate, the better, and they concluded that 5 to 6 eggs a week was the sweet spot. Although they could not actually verify that eating more eggs would not be more helpful because, well, there weren't enough people in their study eating more than one egg a day. The point is, we've been conditioned to see eggs as a risk to our health. The viewpoint is actually quite controversial and not supported by a growing body of research. What if not eating eggs is the real risk? Eggs are a superfood. They're cheap, they're easy to cook, they're easy to store, and they're easy to eat. If you want to create better body chemistry, don't be afraid of including them in your diet. Interested in discovering more ways to create better body chemistry or need a little help getting your body chemistry on track? Visit our website at www.betterbodychemistry.com. Browse our library or join our Better Body Chemistry community. The advice is simple to follow and based on real science, not hype. Know someone who is worried about their eye health? Share this video with them so they can begin beefing up the protection on their maculas. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel to catch future episodes of Better Body Chemistry TV. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health.